Okay, y'all. It looks like we are live. You guys, come on in. I'm Teresa with Jeremiah Dreams. Thank you for being here with me tonight for my segment of Craft Round the Clock. We're streaming both on Facebook and Craft Round the Clock on my page, Jeremiah Dreams, as well as YouTube. So, you guys come on in. We're going to be working on something pretty special tonight, and I'm super excited to get started. So, with no further ado, let's go ahead and get everything pulled up. Bear with me here just a second. And this is what we're going to be working on tonight, you guys. It is my Holy Family piece. Ooh, I should have brought the other canvas so that those of you who haven't seen it yet know what we're doing. Let me grab it. It's just right around the corner. All right, I've got it all here. Bring everyone up to speed on what's happening. So the last time I was on Craft Round the Clock, I worked on this piece, and we did that leather look. I hope you can see just how textured it is. Laid in both. We used some burnt sienna. We used some yellow ochre. We used some raw umber. And then, after everything dried, we applied the tissue paper that created the texture. I came back in with some Baroque Gold by Folk Art, just a little bottle I picked up. I think I got it at Hobby Lobby. And then I printed out my Luke chapter 2 and I inked it up with some distressed oxide and really gave it a grungy look. Um, and then we applied it to our canvas using Mod Podge. So y'all come on in. I'm going to just catch everybody up. So if you can hear me okay, will you please let me know in the comments? I want to make sure everything's operating well. Then I kind of did a rough sketch just in my little sketchbook of the Holy Family that I sort of envisioned for this piece. This is just a rough sketch. And then I kind of did it again in a larger size and cut it out. And now I have taken this piece, I've chalked it really well on the back, and I transferred that image to canvas paper. So, hey, Tanya, can you hear me okay? Will you please let me know? So here's where we are right now. I've transferred my image and I've made a few little revisions. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you. Okay. And then just so you kind of know, this canvas paper is made for acrylic paint. This is what I use by Strathmore. I think I got this at Hobby Lobby as well. But it can take the liquid, the fluid much easier because once I get this finished, I have some additional techniques I want to do to this piece, and I'm going to cut it out, and it's going to be adhered right here in the center. Okay, so that's what we're going to be working on tonight is our Holy Family. I've got little Baxter in here. If y'all hear scratching, he's making his little nest to take his nap. All right, so let's work on this together. I hope y'all are having a good week. It is a week. That's what I'm going to say, and leave that right there. I came in here the other night, was just kind of working with this, playing with the color of it. So what I'm kind of using right now is this Mississippi Mud by Deco. Let me hold it up a little bit closer so you can see better. And we're just going to apply some more of this and just work on this together, y'all. I would love to know what your thoughts are, what your ideas are, y'all. Let me know. Let me know. I'm interested. So I'm just taking some of this Mississippi Mud. I'm just kind of reinforcing some of the color I've already laid in. We're going to come back in with some more shadow. I am just using a round brush. I could use a flat brush. I'm just right now at this stage wanting to have just a little more control. And y'all, I'm just the kind of person, kind of artist that I just have to kind of see where it all takes me. You know, I kind of have an idea in mind, and then I just kind of see how it evolves. So we're just kind of reinforcing Adding another layer, thinking about where the shadows are, where the highlights are as we go along. Just bringing this color on down. I'm going to add a little bit more of the raw umber to this color so we can get more shadow, more depth going on in here. I don't want to get too close to baby Jesus. And tonight's going to be a lot of laying in the foundation color as we come back in and add more detail. So if there were a scene that you could put in the middle of Luke chapter 2 on this canvas, what scene would you choose? Hey, Kath, so good to see you. 9 a.m. Wednesday, Australia. Oh, no, are you in the UK or Australia? I can't remember, Kath. Remind me, please. I forget. I'm so sorry. All right, so I'm going to bring in some raw umber and kind of just deepen this color a little bit. So when I do that, I'll just show you. I'm just getting just a tiny bit. And I want to use the raw umber instead of black because it keeps everything in the family of that tone. And I'm just going to grab a little bit. It's such an intense color. And we're just going to mix it with our Mississippi mud so we get a good marriage of the two colors. Hey, Cindy, how are you? So good to see you. Thank you for being here, each and every one of you guys. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. And please share. Please let your friends know what we got going on over here. I'm just going to add a little more depth just to kind of accentuate his arm position and the shadow of the baby Jesus near him in the manger. Just kind of pulling that tone, that color up. Bring in a little more Mississippi mud just for blending. Just kind of blending everything out, allowing those colors to meld together. I'm going to bring a little more Mississippi mud over here. We'll probably add more of this deeper tone. I am going to go ahead and come right along this area using just the very tip of this round brush. Just adding a little more depth right up against that manger scene. We'll come back and work on that a little more. Some of this, you just got to kind of figure out everything. Australia. Okay, got you. Thanks for clarifying that for me. All right, let's bring some shadow in here up around the neck area. Bring in a little more Mississippi mud to blend into it so it's not such a harsh transition. I'm just kind of working it. I figure there's going to be a little more shadow up on these shoulders that'll transition into a lighter tone. Let's bring in a little more Mississippi mud and blend back into it. You know, painting is a lot of layering. And let me go ahead and grab, I'm going to bring in some milky white. Going to add just a little more highlight up in the shoulder. Probably need to clean my brush and get a lot of that deeper tone off. Hope everybody's having a good week. Tomorrow's hump day. I'm glad about that. Having that extra moisture on my brush helps blending a lot too. So you guys, I have an email coming out this week. If you would like to join my email list, leave me a comment and I'll be glad to share that link with you. I meant to have it already set up in an automation and that just did not happen. So if you've not joined my email list, just put email in the comments and we'll get you on the list. I'll send you the link so that you can sign up. My email will come out Thursday morning. All right, I want a little more light over here on this other. Hi, Tammy. So good to see you. I am doing good. How are you, my friend? I am doing good. I'm always glad when the work day's done and I can get to what I enjoy most, which is being creative and my family. The things that matter the most. The job's important, but it fuels the good things, the really good things. Just doing a lot of blending. And if you're hopping on just now, I am using acrylic paper that is made specifically for acrylic paint. Okay, I'm going to kind of back off of him for just a minute. We're going to work on Mary a little bit. And we're going to do more blues with her, give her a little bit of brightness. I'm sitting here looking at my blues, and I'm gravitating toward a few. Let's see. Probably just going to go ahead and work with this light blue by Apple Barrel. It's just kind of a good go-to color, and we can always adjust that color as we go too. I'm going to switch over to a flat brush. I'm going to use a kind of a small flat brush. This one's a size 6. And I'm going to kind of just work on basing in her head wrap. Kind of shaping it as we go along as well. Going to kind of allow for a little bit of decorative band. Got paint right there on me. Not sure how that happened exactly. I'm going to turn this around so I can get to it from this angle. I'm kind of outlining how I want that to work. Okay, that was helpful. Okay, we'll just come back around this way. We're going to go with a different shade for her dress. I'm just really kind of outlining this headpiece right now, basing it in. And then we're going to come back with some highlights and some shadows that's going to help define it. Kind of tapering it off here at the bottom. Just shaping that curve. Okay. I believe I want to do some white, but I don't know that I want pure white. I think what I'm going to start with as a foundation for this trim is more of a soft gray. And I think this one will work. Nope, that's pearl. Hang on. Looking for my soft gray. Here we go. This is a beautiful color. This is Gray Frost. I am in love with this color. So it's Gray Frost by Folk Art. I don't know if the camera is focusing, but that's okay. We're just going to use our round brush to lay this color in. And then we'll use titanium white to give us some highlights. I'm trying to be mindful of the width of this trim. This will make a really good foundation. Just kind of making it look like it's kind of tucking in and then coming back out and tapering it into the fold there. Just kind of rounding it out a little. I think we need a little bit on this side of her face just to give that additional body. And let's go ahead and bring a little bit of the blue so we have a nice drape. Just kind of blending it, tapering it into that gray. Okay, let's go ahead and bring in some of the titanium white. I just love this version of white because this is by Master's Touch. It is titanium white by Master's Touch, but it's such a pure, clean, bright white, and it's perfect for some highlights. I've almost used this too, finally. Got some more in the wings, though. Just need a little bit. Oh, thank you, Kath. All right, so let's kind of bring in some highlights. We're going to have them kind of varied, allowing that gray to be more of a deeper tone. Really want the folds of this to be accentuated. So I'm trying to be a little light with my white. Go ahead and pick up some more gray. And blend into it. We're going to need a little more depth. I am going to bring this over a little. I'm not happy with the shape of that, so let's round this off a little more. we'll come back and work on her hair some more. We just kind of have to get some of the foundation of this drape done first, and then we can come back and add more hair. Okay, I'm going to go a little darker. Let's see. I want to pull in a little darker gray. What have I got here? This is dark granite. Something's on my foot here. Something fell. Oh, it's my canvas paper fell. Hang on, I gotta grab it. Let's set it over here. It may be a little dark. Let's go with this. This is not as bad. This is Rainy Day Gray. Kind of a nice medium gray shade. And I'm going to mix some of it with this light blue. Let's see if we can get a little darker grayed up blue going on here. I may have to pull in a little darker gray to get that tone that I'm looking for. Let me go ahead and pull some dark granite in here. So I'm looking for something just a little bit darker. But it still has that blue cast. This is a little better. Get a nice point going. Okay. So thinking about where the shadows are, we're going to start on this side and right up against her face. And then while I'm still here at this point, let's bring in some of our initial gray frost to blend. And then we're going to have some of the darker. I'm trying to be very easy about how much of this I lay in. Get a little more of the lighter gray frost and just kind of blend. Let's get some of this excess paint off. And let's go ahead and bring in that titanium white again. Just to reinforce some of our bright highlights. Makes a difference, doesn't it? I'm just trying to be easy, not putting very much paint on my brush at all. I'm just trying to blend and just go about it very slow, methodically, and very gentle. We're going to come down here and kind of work our way up, thinking about where the shadows are in these folds. Grab some titanium white, blend into it. All right, let's just kind of let this sit for a bit and let's move to another area. I want this to kind of dry. And hey, Cheryl, how are you? Good to see you, girl. I want to think about the other parts of her outfit here and thinking about color. It's going to go well with this canvas. Let me just show you real quick. With this canvas being so dark, but very much so on purpose, I want to think about keeping them bright. See what I'm talking about? So I don't want to go too dark on her. Like I don't want to go navy on her gown. I want to keep it darker, but I don't know. I'm trying to say, but I can't get out what I'm trying to say. Let's see. What have I got? This is a medium blue. This may be perfect. Let's certainly give this a try. Get some of that on my palette. I'm going to go back to my flat brush. And I'm wanting to do, I've got too much paint on my brush. I got to be careful. More of a cloak kind of thing. I'm just going to kind of easily come down like this. I'm going to try to be mindful of where her arm is right now. Kind of keep that. Ooh, I like this color. This is going to be a good color. Try to keep these lines separated a little bit so I can kind of know where things are. Kind of doing the outline of her sleeve. Cobalt blue. Are you painting this on what? No, this is canvas paper. I'll show you. It's different than watercolor paper. This is by Strathmore canvas paper. It is for acrylics, and I have used watercolor paper before, but it doesn't, the way it reacts is not quite the same. And it's the neatest stuff. I'm really loving this canvas paper. I haven't used it a bunch, but it's really working great for this project especially. So this is a darker tone, but it's not like out there. It's not navy. It's, what is it called again? What did I say? Medium blue is what it is. I'm going to turn this around a little bit so I can get to this other side. Kind of gently go up through here. Now, it does kind of buckle a little bit when you first start laying in the paint, but as it dries, it does flatten back out. And then if there's an area that won't, there's tips and tricks for getting it to flatten back out again. And it's pretty much just moistening the back of it and putting something heavy on top of it that will help it flatten back out. Oops, sorry about that, y'all. Didn't mean to bump the camera. Let's come on this side and put her arm on this side of her coat. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the show that I have an email coming out this Thursday morning. If you'd like to be on my email list, just put email, the word email, in the comments. I'll be glad to give you the link where you can sign up. Okay, we're going to let that kind of marinate for a minute. You call it royal blue in Australia? I think that's a good word for it. It just says medium blue on the bottom bottle, but I agree with you. I think it's really good tone with this other that we got going on. So I'm going to do something about her undershirt. Just getting this washed off. And I do want to go ahead. I'm going to base in with the titanium light that I have on my palette. Trying to be very gentle and careful. I need to turn this a little so I can get over on this other side. There we go. Okay, we're going to let that dry nicely. More detail to come. Not sure if we'll get the detail tonight, but we'll see how far we get, right? We're going to just let that kind of sit. I'm going to work on this manger a little bit. Having said that, let's do baby Jesus drape real quick. And I'm going to take this milky white and with the titanium and blend those two colors together. We need a little bit of water over here. It's kind of drying out on me. Because I don't want it super dark and yellow looking, but I don't want it bright white. Somewhere right through here. Let me kind of turn this a little bit. It's your favorite blue? Oh, girl, blue is my color too. It's my favorite. A lot of this is the same color as the paper, so it's not going to show up real well until we start getting some of the details in here. Then once we start getting some of the straw painted in, it's going to pop more. I do need a little more wrapping around his little head. I'm just going to pick up a little bit off my brush. We're going to kind of just bring it around. So it looks like he's actually swaddled. You have to let that dry a minute and come back and add another coat. All right, so I'm going to work on the manger. And I'm going to go pretty dark initially. I'm actually going to start underneath the straw and kind of get the under area. And I do want it to be pretty dark, so I am using that raw umber. Don't have to worry about being too particular. Color here. I do want to be a little gentle up against her clothing. And since I plan on cutting this out, I am going to give this more of a solid edge right along here. I have to turn it around this way to get that edge the way I want it to be. Trying to use the chisel part of my brush. Just kind of blending out. I'm going to go ahead and bring this raw umber up a little higher. This is kind of an underpainting for it, for our manger. It's very dark on purpose. Okay. Been following me for 3 years, have you, Kath? Time flies, doesn't it? Okay. Let me get a little more titanium white. I laid it down. Where did I lay it down? Here it is. I'm like, where'd it go? Don't want a bunch. There we go. Put a little bit out on my palette. Gonna add a little more. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and work on a little bit more of this blue in her drape, kind of lay in another coat. Get a nice solid tone here. Okay. I think we need to do some work over here on Joseph. Let's see. I hate to not use the paints I've got pulled out here. So we're going to go ahead and put first another second coat of the medium blue on her clothing. Hey, Sissy, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for sprinkling. Now, when will you guys start decorating for Christmas in your homes? I'm kind of going on a little vacation here for Labor Day weekend, and I'm thinking I'm going to do a little bit of fall decorating, nothing major. And I'll probably put up my tree probably around the 1st of November. It's just so much work. I hate to just put it up for a short period of time. I tell you what, I used to really go all out with decorating, especially when I still had kids at home. And now that I'm an empty nester, I have really scaled that back. Okay. Let's add in some shadow. I am going to need to use a little bit of black. Here it is. With this medium blue to get it the shade I want for shadow. I'm going to use my round brush. Maybe I should, yeah. Just getting a little bit. It doesn't take much. There we go. And let's kind of think about where our shadows are. It's going to help us kind of separate her arm from her clothing, her dress. And kind of be right up against her hairpiece. Grab a little bit more of this medium blue and blend into it. Almost just kind of outlining, and then just kind of pulling that paint out. Let's grab some medium blue. to kind of work back into it so it blends. Just kind of pull it out a little bit. Using really short strokes, and then come back in with some of that medium blue and blend into it. Let's see. There's a lot of shine for me. Kind of hard to see everything. I want it to be darker down in this area. December for Kath. Let's see. I like that shadow. Thank you, Cindy. We need to put some shadow right through here because there's a dip in the fold. So I'm kind of laying in my shadow and then coming back with some of the medium blue for blending. Such a shine on it right now while it's wet. Kind of hard to see. You only put the Christmas up 3 times since 2010. Oh, I got you. If I didn't have grandchildren that come over often, I probably wouldn't put one up because it is so much work. But they enjoy it and they like seeing all the presents. All right, we need to kind of pull together kind of a highlight color. So you're always going to have your mid-tone, high tone, low tone. And I'm going to pull over a little bit of titanium white. I'm going to kind of blend in a highlight color. Don't want it super light, but it needs to be lighter than our mid-tone. Picking up our medium blue again and work it into it. I'm going to bring in a little more. clean my brush. I want it to be just a little more while it's wet. I'm going to go ahead and bring in pure titanium white right on her shoulders. And just kind of blend it right there on the paper. Look what a difference that made. Hey, Marlene. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Just trying to blend out. I have to let this dry a little bit and kind of see where we are, and then come back and add more highlights after things have dried a little bit. I'm going to add a little more highlight through this section. Wow, what a difference. I'm going to add a little more highlight right through here just to help accentuate that flow. Okay. May have to kind of just let this dry really well as far as her clothing goes. I do see one little place I want to touch up a little bit. Thank you, Marlene. It's a series of layering and just maintaining some patience, taking time. See, my brush got a little carried away right through here. I'm just going to kind of touch this up. Okay, I want to kind of work on some folds in her shroud. I'm just going to kind of gray up some of that light blue that we used. I don't want to go too gray, but just going to kind of put in some swoops. And then pick up some of that light blue again, blend into it. Trying to methodically layer through this as well. That's going to give us some movement with the fabric. Really just kind of blending right now. Reinforcing some of this light blue. And that gray will still peek out through there from underneath. There we go. It's not drastic, but it's present. You know what I mean? Y'all, we are almost out of time. What time is it? I've got 2 clocks in here, so I can kind of keep up. Got about 3 minutes. Let me come in here with some titanium white, pick up a little bit of this blue. Let's get a brighter version of it. Here we go, kind of like that right there. Bringing in some more of the light blue to blend. Kind of bridge the gap, so to speak. Ooh, I'm liking this. I don't know about y'all. Oh, thank you, Kath. I appreciate that. I certainly appreciate anything y'all can do to share and sprinkle and all the good things. I hope y'all can see my vision of this whole project of how it's going to come together. I'm loving this. I want to put a little bit of this bright blue over on this side. Y'all think this is a really good place to stop. Let this really dry well, and then it'll be ready for the next step. We'll have to lay in the hay, but we've got a good underpainting done, ready to receive that. All right, so let me bring you back up here and tell you good night. Thank you for joining me. I'm kind of floppy-jawed right now from leaning over, but thanks for being with me tonight. I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. And as you come across, I hope you'll catch the replay. If you're just now joining, please let me know you were here by putting #replay in the comments. And if you want to be on my email list, just put in the word email. I'll send you the link where you can sign up. So you guys have an amazing rest of your week. Thank you again for being here, and I'll see you all again very soon. Good night, you guys.